Okay. I'm gonna delete that because I advanced a slide by accident. Okay. If you just watched the last video, then what you're probably hoping is there an alternative to having to do all that algebra work? And the answer is yes, maybe, depending on what kind of a test you're taking. So if you're taking a multiple choice test and you have a calculator, or even if you don't have a calculator, you always have the option of taking your answer choices and plugging them in and seeing if you get a true statement. With a rational equation, that might still be kind of a pain, unless you're given very, very nice numbers like zeros and ones to plug in. If you are allowed access to a graphing utility like Desmos or like a graphing calculator, then you have the option of typing in the equations and looking for or graphing them and looking for the point of intersection. So this is the same problem we just did. Hopefully you have, you can remember it, but we did the equation p plus 5 over p squared plus p. And so we're going to graph the left side, p squared plus p, and then we're going to graph the right side. And again, use the y equals because in some situations that is going to allow you to see some things that you can't if you just put the expression in. So the right side was 1 over p squared plus p minus p minus 6 over p plus 1. Now, this is where I accidentally advanced a slide about 3 minutes ago. I had to redo it. But these are kind of trippy graphs, okay? There's a lot going on with these graphs here, and you might need to zoom in or zoom out. And I made the mistake of using my scroll wheel to try to zoom in, which normally would work, but doesn't when you're in a PowerPoint. But we don't have to. There's a lot of asymptotes going on, but we are going to be focusing on where the graphs intersect. So just keep in mind that you might need to do a little movement around on the graph in order to see what you need to see. And if you end up in some of the far reaches of the coordinate plane, there's that little house button, which we are not seeing at the moment on this version, but there's a little house button in the upper right, usually up here somewhere, and that will take you back home. So looking at this, you can see where the two intersect, and they intersect at 1, 3 and 4, 0.45. And remember, we're looking for the x coordinates. So that is going to give us 1 and 4 as our solutions. Now, for most people, that is going to be a lot easier, a lot less work, and a lot more accurate than trying to go through all the algebra. And it is a valid option if you have access to a graphing utility. If you have a graphing calculator, so those of you pre-calculus bound will need to use a graphing calculator, and graphing calculators will do this as well. You just need to learn the commands, like where do you go on the calculator to get it to do that. So that is the other solution there. Make sure that when you're doing this that you are screenshotting what you need to screenshot. Okay, and make sure your screenshot is yours. All right, now this leads us to a potential other problem. So if we're doing this on Desmos and our answer comes out like a yucky answer, so it's got some kind of yucky decimal, but we look at our answer choices and our answer choices are in radical form or fraction form. What should we do? Because what that means is Desmos is giving us an answer that's not in the form of our answer choices. So what we're going to do, and these would be your blanks in your formative, is you convert the answer choices over to decimals, and you're going to do your best to match them up and hope that you don't have any that are too close. And we've done this a little bit in class. If you end up having more than one that matches, you want to look for simplification. So that's often one of the answers is simplified and the other one isn't, and that's probably how you need to choose between the two. All right, so we have an example of this. And hopefully it'll work just fine. So here is our equation that we have been asked to solve, and as you notice, the answer choices to that are not integers, which means that Desmos is going to give us the answer in one form and our answer choice is going to be available in a different form. But the strategy is the same. So we take the left side, okay, and we graph that. And then we're going to graph the right side. And so we will have v plus 2 over v minus 4. And we're adding to that 7v minus 42 over v minus 4. And we are looking for the points where those graphs intersect. And lo and behold, there I see it, okay? And I've got it marked over there that the point of intersection is, we're looking at 5.143. So I come over to my answer choices and oh snap, I don't see a 5.143. But hopefully one of those is equal to 5.143. So if you've got scratch paper, you probably want to write that down because sometimes when you click off of this, you don't see it anymore. But what we're essentially going to do is take our answer choices and see if we can match them up. So we do 34 over 7. That is 4.85, so that is not right. My next one, you want to be smart about using Desmos here, so I'm not going to delete the whole thing. I can just change the 34 to a 36. I like that one. I was looking for what, 5.143. Let's come back over here. 5.143. That is 5.142, but look at the next digit. The next digit is an 8, which means if we were rounding that to the nearest what do we got there, thousandths there, the 8 is going to round the 2 up to a 3. So I really like 36 over 7. I'm going to kind of hold that one there and not delete it. And let's take a look at the other ones. We have 26 over 5. That is 5.2. That's definitely too high. And then I have 24 over 5. Whoops. And that is 4.8. So that's how you would match it up. And so our answer choice for this one that matches is answer choice B, the 36 over 7. Now, just for the record, on your formative, okay, I do have most of the questions set for shuffle. And so randomize. So just because I picked B, make sure that you actually go and look at the answer choices. You are looking for the 36 over 7. Don't just pick the second one down, like, look more closely. But that is how we navigate it if we end up with decimals and we need to match them up. This also works for square roots. Okay, so if you've got radicals, you would just try to match the decimals up.